Hey, hello guys, welcome to Make Adventure Happen podcast. In this podcast, in every episode, we talk about one country. That's me, Kaspars and Una. Yeah, today I'm wearing my I Love Una shirt. I'll talk a little bit more about it later. In this podcast, every episode is one country that we have visited. We answer some of the most popular questions about this country, and we also share our own experience in this country. Today, we'll be talking about Sri Lanka, a country off the southern coast of India. It's an island country. It's also a country we have just returned from. We spent a little bit over 2 weeks in Sri Lanka, and it's a country that, to be honest, we were a little bit worried to go to because of what you hear on the news, because of the financial crisis that everyone is talking about when they talk about Sri Lanka. But we went anyway, and now let's talk about Sri Lanka. And let's go to Google, like always, type in Sri Lanka. I have already typed in, and let's see what people are asking about Sri Lanka, and let's try to give you our opinion about these things. And the first question that people are asking is the same that we had in mind when thinking of Sri Lanka. Is it safe to go to Sri Lanka now? What do you think, Una?
Yes, absolutely. The only thing that we experienced, the only problem that we experienced, it was electricity shortages. That was the only thing, but the rest is fine and it's completely safe. There are no political unrest. There's no any strikes. No, nothing.
There are also no any signs of anything that something was wrong at some point or at some point in recent times.
Yeah, I think it just it's finished for now. So for now, now it's safe to visit.
Yeah, for a tourist, you feel like absolutely
it's fine.
Normal. The next question I see on Google, it's a funny one. Is Sri Lanka in India? Yes or no?
No, it's not in India. Sri Lanka is an island which is very close to India, but it's not a part of India. It's a separate country. Sri Lanka is a separate country which is close to India. And there are very cheap flights from India to Sri Lanka, and a lot of Indian tourists come to visit Sri Lanka, but it's not a part. It's not India. It's not a part of India.
Yeah.
It's a separate country.
And also, I would also say that it's a quite different country.
Yeah, it's quite different. There are similarities, of course, but it's quite a different country from India. They are majority Buddhist.
Yeah.
That's the main difference, and also one of the languages spoken is not Hindi-based language.
The language was
Sinhala.
Sinhala.
The other language which is widely spoken in Sri Lanka is Tamil, which is a language from India, but as I said, Sri Lanka is not India.
Yeah, Sri Lanka is not India. There are similarities, but is Sri Lanka expensive to visit?
No, it's not expensive.
No, I think it offers one of the best
performance.
Value for money, as I like to say. One of the best value for money in the world, I would say, because it's not just affordable. It's good. It's let's say cheap food. If you buy cheap food for $1, €1, which is possible in Sri Lanka in 2023, it will be good. And if you take a simple room for 10, 15 euros, there's a high chance that it will be good. And if you spend a little bit more, like we were spending something like 20 euro a night for a room, it's very nice. If you take first class train for 3, 4, it's not even, sometimes 10.
Yeah.
If it's a long distance, it can be 10, short distance, maybe 4 or 5 dollars, euros.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great value for money.
Yes, absolutely.
The same is for food. Spend, let's say, $5 for a meal a person. It can be very nice.
Yeah, first class food.
Yeah. Spend more, you will get like more for your money. Like I remember that my curry that I got in a candy. It was quite kind of expensive. Maybe Ella, right? Ella. Maybe $10.
Yeah, 5-star resort or 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
They had a nice restaurant, and the food was like 5, 6, 7 euros per dish. It's very reasonable considering it's a 5-star hotel, and the quality was amazing, and the setup was amazing, and the service was amazing. So it's not a very expensive meal.
Yeah.
And it's super
Watch
cool.
our Ella video. At the end of the video, there is the meal, and that whole
like a huge spread.
That big set was, like Una said, I think it was 5 or 6 euros for the food, and maybe $2 for tea. Ice cream was included. Great value for money for everything. And buses, local buses, cheap, nice, okay, good. Go everywhere.
Also, like I already mentioned, the first class train and the second and third class trains are of course much cheaper. The groceries of course are cheap. I think tourist attractions are on the more expensive side. Yeah.
Can be, yeah.
Can be,
actually,
yes.
Some excursions maybe, like, not like Europe expensive, but
But the basic stuff is cheap.
Next question that I see on Google that people are searching: why is Sri Lanka famous in the world?
I think it's because of their cuisine.
Did you know of it before? I don't.
Some people mention the food, but now I understand that it might be because of the food, but also because of the nature and hospitality of the locals. Elephants.
I would say
beaches, of course.
I would also say elephants. Yeah, I had heard of elephants, but to be honest,
we didn't see them.
We didn't see elephant, but also I didn't really know much about Sri Lanka before. In Latvia, where we are from, people talk about Sri Lanka maybe for the last 5 years. Before everyone was going to Thailand, Egypt, Turkey, and I didn't know much about Sri Lanka, and now, for me personally, like having been to 22 countries in Asia, Sri Lanka is in, I would say, top 2, like the top 3 for countries that I would recommend for other tourists.
Definitely.
Yeah, if you think about other things like living or I don't know, maybe going abroad and working, like that's different things, but just for tourism.
Just for tourism, it's a great destination.
Yeah.
Spending 2 weeks, a month there, traveling around, it's perfect.
Yeah, so for tourists, we would highly recommend it. And but the question was why Sri Lanka famous? We didn't know much before, but now we understand that it could be also the hospitality, because you can see that the country is very good at tourism and must have been.
The service is amazing everywhere we went. The service was amazing. And they know how to set a table. Like sometimes, quite often when you are traveling around Asia, they just throw the plate
Also in Singapore.
and the fork and the spoon. But here there's like a placemat, like a plate and a fork and knife and a spoon and a nice like a clean glass and what else? Yeah, some flowers on the table. Even in the cheap places, it's nicely done. So yeah, that's very interesting.
And just in case we don't get to this part where can I talk about my t-shirt.
It is nothing to do with me actually.
I love Una. Una, in this case, it's Una Batuna beach near Galle. And then, yeah, there was a funny thing that when I arrived to Colombo, I arrived 2 days before Una. I go to our guest house where we were planning to stay, and I'm greeted by a man wearing this t-shirt, not this exact t-shirt, but like same t-shirt. And I'm asking him like, what is this about? And he couldn't explain. But a few minutes later, he comes and gifts me this I love Una t-shirt. That's just in case if you are watching.
In case you're wondering.
No, if you're watching this on YouTube, not listening on some podcast platforms. Now the next question, and yeah, I wanted to tell you this because we never know where this conversation will go, because we are just looking on Google and what questions we see, this is what we answer. Is Sri Lanka cleaner than India?
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry, India, but yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and often we saw in India mud roads, and like even in the middle of the city, like in the city center, but it's not the case with Sri Lanka. Well, at least we didn't see any gravel and mud roads in the city center, and there are not so much garbage around, really. Even like on the side of the road, not so much, anyways. Well, it's definitely cleaner than India for sure.
Yeah, that's a thing. I was like generally surprised when arriving to Colombo.
Why it's so clean?
I was like, I was non-stop texting Una and telling like, wow, this city, it looks like almost like Singapore, like the cleanest city that I have seen in the region. It's kind of sad that you have to be so surprised about such things, but yeah, Colombo and Sri Lanka in general is very clean. There are places that are dirty, unfortunately. You see them when taking a train along the coastline. There were quite a few places that weren't clean, but cleaner than India.
Yeah, and the water should be cleaner than in India, like the tap water. Well, you can't drink it, of course, but I think it's less contaminated than in India. Should be. Yeah, anyways.
Maybe. Why do people love Sri Lanka? I think we have already kind of answered that. I think it's nature.
Food, nature, beaches, nice people. Nice prices, nice weather. Cheap.
What is Sri Lanka famous food? Like I think it means like, I think these people meant what are famous foods from Sri Lanka. I think number one, what I would say, but I must say like I didn't know about Sri Lankan food before, and I think the curries might be
it's the curry.
Very unique.
Different types of curry.
They're very
Fish
unique.
curry, chicken curry, vegetable curry.
We have spent like more than 7 years in Asia, and curries in Sri Lanka, they taste differently and in a good way. Like I would say like they are on the same like level like Thai curries. Very good.
Sri Lankan breakfast is a very popular dish. Oh, Sri Lankan breakfast is very popular for tourists, I would say. Like I mean, Sri Lankan breakfast is what you should try as a tourist. Sri Lankan breakfast is like
Curry.
is like a set of small like it's a set of dishes like bread with dal curry and I think it was coconut sambal or coconut chutney, I don't remember, and coffee or tea.
And I'm also looking what people answer on Google, and they say that kotu roti is a popular dish.
Yes, kotu roti, yes, I forgot about it.
Kotu, yeah, that's the only Sri Lankan food I had tried and knew before coming to Sri Lanka. I tried it in Bahrain. And you also see this, also see this thing a lot. I don't know even how to pronounce it. Deviled. Like you see, like deviled fish, deviled meat, deviled chicken, and we didn't try.
So.
We didn't try. And I asked one Sri Lankan man, what does this mean? And he said that it's from what he said, I understood that it's almost like a stew, like it's meat and some vegetables, and there is definitely some pepper and chili or something, and it's kind of spicy thing, and that's what I understood from what I was told. Okay, that's it about food. To sum it up, I think that's something you should try. Definitely some of Sri Lankan curries. They have I don't know from what, but they have a very unique flavor. I'm now curious to find out what makes this, I would say, unique flavor, yeah.
The rich taste.
Yeah. Is Thailand or Sri Lanka better? Depends. Both are good.
Both are good. For me, of course, Thailand is better. I like Thailand better. It's one of my favorite countries. But Sri Lanka is also good.
Yeah, both are very good, like for tourists.
Yes, for traveling.
Lots to see, lots to do. It's easy to get around. It's easy to find what to do. It's affordable, good food, good people. It ticks all the boxes, like
exactly.
All. Can I wear shorts in Sri Lanka? I think we can touch the clothing topic a little bit here. Yeah, you can wear shorts. People wear shorts. Locals wear shorts. Local men wear shorts.
For women, it's like a little bit differently. In cities away from the beaches, it's better if you wear like longer skirts and maybe lightweight pants. But in like touristic towns, touristic seaside towns like Hikaduva, Bentota, Mirissa, you can wear your shorts, ladies, and shorter dresses, because it's just so many tourists, and I think it's fine. But if you are in less like touristy areas, or even if you are in Colombo, then maybe you should wear something like longer than shorts. Like I said, longer dresses, pants, something like that.
But it's also at the same time like it feels like I don't know, quite free anyway.
Yeah, I've seen tourists wearing shorts in Colombo, like women also. So probably nothing will happen if you wear shorts. I didn't in Colombo, but still.
Is it safe to swim in the sea in Sri Lanka? And here I want to say, like, where did we go? We were in Colombo, the capital. You can go swimming also there. Colombo, then Bentota, more like an upper class beach town.
Fancy.
Hikaduva, Galle, next to Galle is Unavatuna. Then we went to Yala National Park, up to Ella, up to Kandy. It's more in the like highlands. and then back to Colombo. This is where we went. So is it safe to swim in the sea in Sri Lanka? More safe than in Bali?
Well, you should always swim at a special beach, not a special beach, but like a beach area for swimming, where you see flags and and other people or lifeguards. A place which is meant for swimming.
Yeah. Like it's not we cannot tell you is it 100% safe or no, because it's nature and you can never predict nature. And in Sri Lanka you are swimming in the ocean. Ocean means strong currents, and it can be unsafe if you don't know what you are doing and if you don't know what the place is. So yeah, like Una said, go to places that are looked after. There are lifeguards, and there are lots of these places, and generally it feels much more safe than in Bali. Similar like in Thailand, but with more waves and so
stronger waves. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if you see a beautiful beach where there's no people, so maybe you shouldn't swim there, because if you get dragged in the ocean, nobody will help you, and I think it's not safe. It's better to stick to mainstream public beaches.
Especially if you are asking this question, and if you are
don't go looking for trouble.
If you are an experienced ocean swimmer, you may do as you wish. Which is the best month to visit Sri Lanka? I'm not 100% sure. Do you know the season?
I think it's starting from December, January, maybe something like that.
Could be.
But it depends, because Sri Lanka has there's a left side and the right side, and the right side, the weather on the right side is different from that of the left side. So I think seasons there are different seasons. I'm not sure, but December and January is fine.
For these places that we went, definitely.
Yeah.
November also was okay.
November was okay, but it could rain, especially in Ella, which rained a lot.
Oh yeah.
That was crazy. I thought that the town will be destroyed completely. The rain was super crazy. It was so rainy. It was pouring. It was not raining cats and dogs. It was pouring from
elephants and tigers.
It was pouring from a bucket constantly for several hours. It was one of the heaviest rains I've seen.
What can you not bring to Sri Lanka? Let's see what Google says.
Cigarettes and too much alcohol. I'm not sure.
I see the usual stuff. That's not the question to us. I see the usual stuff: firearms, ammunition, explosives. Yeah, don't take your AK to
AK-47. What about alcohol and cigarettes?
I don't see anything about that, but I remember that arriving to Sri Lanka, I was checking the information paper that they had on the plane, and it said that Sri Lanka has no limits to duty-free goods that you are bringing in the country. I was absolutely surprised, because most of countries, they limit you to one block of cigarettes and maybe 1 or 2 liters of alcohol, and if I remember correctly, and if I understood this information that I saw correctly, then you can bring full bag with vodka. Okay. Do I need visa for Sri Lanka?
Yes, you need.
I don't know about you, but most need. And
Yes.
the good thing is it's easy to obtain it on the internet. If your passport allows you to obtain it on the internet, we Latvians from the EU, European Union, we could buy it online. We got the approval in less than 24 hours, yeah, in our case.
In our case, it was like 20 minutes, but normally when now it's like low season for tourists, and because of this crisis, there are not too many tourists. And in our case, it was like 20 minutes to get the approval. But normally it's about like 24 hours or 48 hours. So it's better if you apply for a visa like a week in advance. That's the standard.
In our case, the visa cost something like €50 a person.
Yeah.
Super easy to apply, fast to get in our case, and on arrival, super easy immigration process.
Wait, you need to also not only apply for a visa online, but also there's like this online arrival card that you need to fill in too. I don't know if it can be done like on arrival, but arrival card in our case was online. You needed to fill in online.
Not sure if anyone's checking this information, and maybe it's still from the pandemic times or what, but there is this thing. And
the arrival card is like instantly it gets accepted. You get the approval email right away.
Yeah, because there is nothing to check.
Yeah.
Next question. People are asking, is Maldives better than Sri Lanka?
I wouldn't know that.
We haven't been to the Maldives, but I know that many people use Sri Lanka as many people combine Maldives and Sri Lanka because both of these countries are nearby. Una had a flight from Dubai to
Sri Lanka via Male, and the most of tourists on the plane they got off at the Male airport, and the plane continued like half empty. Well, but I think I don't know which is better. It's probably you can't answer that, but when it comes to like beaches, Maldives might have more beautiful beaches because of the transparent, like super transparent water and white sand.
The special sand also that they have.
Yes, but Sri Lankan beaches are more of a regular kind, but still very beautiful. But the food probably is better in Sri Lanka because I'm not sure. I don't hear much about Maldivian food.
And I also guess, despite of how little, let's say, animals, elephants we saw in Sri Lanka, I guess there are way more elephants in Sri Lanka than in the Maldives, and way more leopards and lizards and
than in Maldives.
So
Sri Lanka has more animals.
Just for the beach, Maldives maybe, but we haven't been. And for the rest, Sri Lanka is amazing.
I would like to go to Maldives actually. Just to check it out.
And then we'll make a video.
Comparison.
Okay, this is a funny question, and I guess it's because people are thinking of Sri Lanka as India. Do Sri Lankan men hold hands? I didn't see it. Because in India you see very often that men are walking and holding each other's hands, sometimes just holding the small
pinky finger like this, like that's actually quite funny.
They don't hold.
I don't think they hold hands. No, I saw one like two men holding hands. I think it was in Sri Lanka, but it's not very common.
Is it cheap to travel to Sri Lanka?
Yes.
Yes, for Western tourists.
Already mentioned that.
For Western tourists, it's very good. you get a lot for your money. What is the cheapest month to travel to Sri Lanka?
I would guess it's like shoulder season
Like November and then maybe
or off
spring.
season, because hotels will be cheaper then, but I'm not sure.
But I wouldn't recommend you to go in the off season
Yeah.
right now, because in good season the prices are good, and
Why risk it with bad weather?
I guess you don't want to get the same experience like we had in Elo when our tuk-tuk couldn't drive, and because it was this heavy rain, crazy heavy, and yeah. Okay. How much? Again, it's a money question. Let's keep it. Let's skip it. So many money questions. I need something else. Una, you can talk about all.
Yeah, actually, I have a question. Like,
Yourself.
I can ask a question myself. How can you book train tickets in Sri Lanka? Because it's a question. Someone asked me recently, person who wants to travel to Sri Lanka, so I can answer that. Well, if you know of want2go.asia, you can buy tickets there. Train tickets is possible. Not for like all trains, because not all trains have like the seats, the bookable seats. The ones which have like first class or second class reserved, you can book trains via want2go.asia.
Want2go.asia.
Yes.
Want2go.asia.
And I think it's possible to book rail tickets on like Sri Lankan Airlines, Sri Lankan Railways site. But we haven't tried it. We only tried through want2go.asia, and also you can book them on the spot, like 1 or 2 or 3 days in advance, or week in advance. But again, it depends on the train. If there is like a local train with no like allocated seating, you can only buy like 20 minutes in advance. But if there's like a class, like first, second, third, then there's like allocated seating, you can buy it online, like I said, want2go.asia, or you can book it like on the spot, like
at the
station, like 2-3 days in advance.
And speaking of our experience with the trains, we tried to take a train 3 times. And we succeeded only once, going from Colombo to Bentota. The thing was that the second train, which was the local train that you can only book like an hour before at the train station, that was delayed again, delayed some more, and we decided to take a tuk-tuk. And the second one was the famous ride from Ella to Kandy. It was cancelled due to bad weather, so don't go in bad weather.
No, I think it was, it was cancelled due to bad weather causing landslides. It was nice weather actually that day, but before it was raining very heavily, and I think there was some sort of a landslide or boulders and whatever, and the rain destroyed, I think, the
everything.
Rail, whatever.
Everything was bad.
Yeah.
More about transportations. I see a question on Google. What is the main transportation mode in Sri Lanka?
Trains.
Buses. Number 1, I think, is buses. There are so many buses, like a crazy amount of buses.
Yeah, actually, there are way more buses than trains. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, and the buses, I guess there are also some buses you can book online. I have heard about like nice, fancy, modern buses, but these, like the regular ones that most of people take, you just go to the bus station if you are in a bigger city, or go to bus stop if you are in some smaller place, or just stand on the road and wave with your hand, and the bus will stop, and ask them like if they are going to the place that you want to, and jump on and pay the ticket and pay the fee. And we were taking a bus from Hikaduva to Galle, and then Unavatuna. Ridiculously cheap if you are from Europe. Like we haven't had prices like that for maybe 15, 20 years.
Yes.
10 cents, 20 cents, 15 cents.
But for tourists, the most popular mode of transportation is car with a driver, taxi, tuk-tuk. Because tourists, I think they don't want to rely on trains, and they don't want to take buses. So
I also wouldn't want to rely on trains.
So tourists are more likely to book a taxi or book a driver, if possible, than take a train. Shorter distances, buses.
Like in our case, if we are going something like 2-3 hours, then we were taking either taxi or tuk-tuk, and tuk-tuk very reasonable, and car also very reasonable. What we paid, something like maybe 40 or 50, something like $50 for 2 or 3 hours, like almost 200 kilometers to Yala.
Yes, exactly.
But 200 kilometers, $50. It's good for private transport, in our opinion.
And when our train from Ella to Kandy was cancelled, we took a shared taxi van, which was like 20 euros one way. And from Kandy to airport, we paid Kandy.
We took Uber.
We took an Uber, and it was about 20 euros, I think. 30.
Yeah, and a question I see on the internet is, do they have Uber in Sri Lanka?
They do.
Yes, but not in all cities. In Kandy, definitely. In Colombo, definitely. And the good thing is that I liked is that in Colombo airport they are promoting Pick Me, a local ride hauling up, and Uber. So they also have dedicated like pickup spots for Pick Me and Uber, and so for
which it makes life easier.
Yeah, for tourists like a lot easier. Okay, how much is taxi in Sri Lanka? It depends. It can be it can be some 50 cents. It can be $50. Is it easy to get a taxi? Yeah, like you said, tuk-tuks, for example, they are everywhere. Also, in some smaller towns, there will be tuk-tuks and villages, and it's kind of interesting actually when I think of Sri Lanka, that I never felt that people are like trying to rip me off. Like in most of places, I felt like they are treating me fairly. Like you ask like how much is tuk-tuk, and you are given a fair price, except for Kandy. In all the rest of Sri Lanka, we felt like amazing. Like I am going to a driver and thinking like, if he will say 10,000 for this long ride, I'll say okay. And he tells me it's 6,000, and I'm like, wow, yeah, sure, let's go. And the Kandy thing is, in Kandy, we had only bad experience. We tried only 3 times to get Uber, actually. Yeah, we tried to get Uber, and the worst was when a man told us, I'm not picking you up unless you book my $50 tour.
In your dreams, buddy.
What is that? Yeah.
We just wanted to go from city center to our hotel, and it was
evening.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't really evening. Well, it was like 4 or 3 p.m. And how we are going to go on a tour when it's like 2 hours until sunrise, two daylight hours. how can we see all these 5 or 6 places on the tour?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
That's it. I think.
Yeah, we covered the most of it, I think.
Sri Lanka is amazing, like I said, and I think you agree that we would put it in our top 3 countries in Asia where we recommend tourists to go to. It's amazing in all aspects, and
thumbs up.
on that, let's finish this video.